Getting your life together might feel pretty challenging, but there are different ways where you can speed up that process. So let's get started. First is, you don't actually want things to be too detailed. Have you ever had a time when you were taking an exam and you spent so much time on one single problem that you missed tons of other easy problems that you could have gotten? And this is because speed and perfection, they usually don't go in the same sentence. But speed and progress does. And this is kind of like the same concept with life. The more you want things to be perfect before you move on, the more time you're wasting overall in your life. This is why if you really want to progress fast in life, you have to simplify your goals. You really have to make it so that only the very important things that you value are actually in your goals. And you have to really learn to cut out all the good to have things. Rather than spending months and months trying to find like the perfect job with amazing pay, work-life balance, all the little benefits, focus on speed. Prioritize only the very important criteria that you're looking for in a job, and then use your next one to become even better. And the key thing here to really learn is learn to separate what is considered essential and good to have for you. Because the less you get hung up on like the less important things, the more you'll slow down and feel stuck in life. Don't wait until you feel ready to start. Just start. If you're looking to become a man that knows their way around the world, hit that subscribe button. Next is, you really don't want to get into like the all or nothing type of mentality. Remember that winning in life is really more about progress. Like, let's say if you design like a study program for yourself to learn programming and you missed a session. Don't keep thinking about how behind you are and you messed up and you just really want to start over. Instead, if you have 30 minutes, do 30 minutes. If you have 10 minutes, do 10 minutes. Because your goal isn't to beat other people, it's to have a better life for yourself. And if you only did 10 minutes, that's still 10 minutes better than what you were before. And then as you become more consistent, work your way up. Put all your focus on getting more out of the time that you already have than what you felt like you have already lost. Next is, solve only the problems that comes up. This is gonna sound kind of weird. When you look at life, there are so many things to do and then an infinite amount of problems to solve. If you try to do everything, you will feel overwhelmed. This is why like the best way that I found is focus on your path and let the problems come to you. So what do I mean by this? Let's say for instance, you're trying to become a great swimmer. And then the more you swim, the more you start to think about problems like, how do I make my form a little better? How do I swim faster? You will naturally start to think about these questions and problems because of the environment that you are in. On the other hand, if you're on social media a lot, then you start thinking about things like, how come I'm not on vacation? And where's my promotion? And these are what I so-called like letting the problems find you. Depending on what kind of path that you pick, different problems will come up depending on that path. This is why if you're trying to get your life together, pick the end goal first and then pick a good path, because there are a lot of different good paths to get to that point. And then as you go on those paths, only solve the problems that comes up. Ignore everything else. Last is, you really have to get into the habit of putting everything in a box and just moving on. In pretty much everything that you do, there will always be things that you can tweak, redo, fix. Like if you really wanted to, you can pretty much spend like your whole entire life thinking about one thing that you could have done differently, or that you should have applied to a different job first. But you really have to learn to just drop all that when you are choosing to be finished with something. Put everything all in a box, close it, don't touch it, it's done, it's gone, it's finished. Because if you keep any doors open, you're going to overthink, get anxious, and start regretting and having self-doubts about your current career and life. And then you'll really let your past mess up your future because you didn't close these loops. As usual, let me know what you guys think about these tips down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in my next video.